pretty much like coming up with within a year.
Yeah.
And it's a murder R&B album.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. Go-Go Boots.
Go-Go Boots. And
yeah. Well, I got to just sit back for a second though, because for being fairly down to earth, sort of normal people, not that normal, but for rockers, I would say you guys are fairly normal. But I hope that's not an insult.
No,
but aside from
normal at home,
aside from death metal and black metal, I think your records have a higher body count than practically any other band that I know of, except possibly Dwight Yoakam.
And Nick Cave, we could probably
Nick Cave.
go toe to toe with Nick Cave.
Yeah, but he's considered goth, so
right.
you know, I mean, so on some level. So yeah, but you could go toe to toe with Nick Cave. What's that about? I mean, and the new record has at least
morbid fascination for darker aspects of human endeavor, you know, and especially when it mixes with religion. And you know, there's two different songs on our next record about actually based on one murder that happened in my hometown, where this preacher hired these guys to kill his wife because his church didn't believe in divorce, and so he couldn't divorce her without having to get a new job. So he hired these guys to kill her, and they botched it really badly, like Fargo badly, you know, and he ended up having to finish the job. And it's this kind of awful story that I've actually written about more times than I'm comfortable admitting to, but I finally finished a couple of songs about it that are going to be on the next record, kind of are the bookends of it, sort of. So.
What's the R&B part of it? See, I haven't heard this, I don't know. Is that partly from, you know, the Memphis?
The whole Muscle Shoals. It's probably the most Muscle Shoals sounding record we've ever made. Okay. And you know, half of the band grew up there.
Sorry, I meant to say Muscle Shoals, not Memphis.
We're neighbors.
Yeah.
You know, so, and Muscle Shoals kind of happened due to a overflow in Memphis. I mean, Wexler from Atlantic Records couldn't book his artists into Stax anymore because Stax was busy doing their own thing and kind of shut the door to him. So Muscle Shoals was 2 hours down the road, and so he brought his axe there, and it clicked and became a thing unto itself. So, and my father was the bass player in the Muscle Shoals rhythm section, so he was part of all of that. And so this is the,
you referenced Memphis before though on
sure
on Sam Phillips. And,
right.
I don't know if you know my mother-in-law's worked for Sam Phillips.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Felina's mother worked for Sam Phillips.
Well,
but
Sam
anyway,
Phillips was
so
born in Florence, Alabama, which is my hometown. He was born in Florence, and he was actually born in McGeetown, which isn't even a crossroad. It's like a two-stop sign town, community, not even a town, just outside, just north of Florence, and that's where my family's farm is. So he grew up on the farm 2 farms over from my grandparents, from my grandmother and my great uncle.
Well, so now this makes sense. That's the soul side of
right.
Drive-By Truckers is the Memphis.
And we dabbled a little. We did the Betty LaVette record a few years ago, backing her up, and then we did a record with Booker T. So we've been kind of getting our feet wet in that direction anyway a little bit, and we wanted to put out a very kind of straightforward rock record. So we basically recorded 2 albums at once and divided the songs kind of as we went. And then last year we wrapped up the first one and put it out in March, and that's the big to-do, and that's the more straightforward rock record. And so now we'll be following it up with our kind of a little more sprawling country solo thing. So I'm excited about it. It's been a real fun way to work, except for the part about getting ready to release a new record while we're still touring behind the record. That part I didn't quite take into consideration. It seemed like such a good idea.
It's a lot of days on the road.
It's a lot of days on the road. And, but trying to keep the families from mutinying is,
absolutely.